Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, I am going to start another picture, but basically I wanted to show where I am thus far with Jussie. Let's see, I always do that. And here is the replay of what I've been doing off screen. There's going to be like lots of tiny details that I'll be adding to this. So this was the gist of it, but when I'm done with all the tiny details, like adding things to his bracer here, maybe some little details on his vest, I'll be putting that back on replay, but it's kind of fun to do a little bit of those things while I'm on the bus. But today I want to try to do like Janet Jackson as a Disney character, but still use the steampunk motif. So as soon as Jussie's done, I'm going to go ahead and start Janet. Make that smaller so we can see them side by side. Yeah, I had a little bit of difficulty starting the face, but you know, it was a start, and I always got to give myself that. And plus, it's like sometimes I just jump right on into drawing, and just like after waking up and taking a shower, and then by the time I'm done with the drawing and it's time for me to go, I'm all warmed up and ready to rumble. So anyway. This weekend I was pretty much working on sculpting and working on learning how to make better molds and things like that. I made a little bit of a tutorial for my daughter on how to make a homemade mold from silicone and cornstarch, and was just making things like that all weekend. Nothing's complete, but when I do, I'll finally do a little bit of sculpting on screen. Maybe just do a completed video and then just upload it. But other than that, yeah, I pretty much learned how to do that on YouTube. And then this right here, drawing on this Procreate thing, I learned how to do that on YouTube as well. Learning the tools, learning not necessarily the coloring, well, yeah, learning basically how the tools work, and then from there, here we are. So I get a lot of influence from YouTube, as well as trying to put some content out there. But to discuss what's going on in the picture here, instead of giving him the full beard, I wanted to give him mutton chops because I thought he could carry the look. He's a good looking guy. Let's see, and I started seeing more and more things that are a little bit weird, so like I had too much face on his face, so I reduced it to what he actually looks like. A lot of these things I do off camera. When I'm on the bus, I have no, you know, I'm being jostled around. And you know, and I can see some of the things that I'm doing wrong because I'm hyper focused. You know, and there'll be times when I'll have to go back and fix things. And this little part on his tie, I didn't want to do just a basic bow tie, so I added some African motifs to it from a mask that I had found. It's a little bit different from the mask, but it has some of the features. But it was basically a black mask, had these yellow motifs all the way around it. Let's see, I'm doing more work on the hats. I wanted to throw a little bit of that onto the hat, but then I'm like, I need to throw some more steampunkish stuff onto him to get that steampunk look. So I'm going to be like, here's the goggles, but I'm making them more like an African mask type of goggle, or like the eyes from an African mask. And on the top of the mask will be like shells. And This is like reminiscent of the carving on the mask. And I've got like the musical symbol. And I think I want to kind of make his gauntlet here into something that would put out music or help channel music, but have some sort of steam action going on too. Because, you know, music is formed with air and, you know, travels around sound, and kind of forming a little story that he's an inventor, and he's using that like a wizard, I guess. So this is like his little wizard gauntlet and stuff, and he's able to channel his music. Okay, so here I am working more on the mask. And I like the blue color. It's just a little bit different. It's still got the cool tones going. And then across the top of the mask, like the African mask that I saw had like little slits for the eyes. And it kind of had that same shape as these little shells that are going to be going across. And then I have like a little bit of rope going around. So I'm trying to get the organic along with the technology for that like Victorian-ish type period. And then the last thing I was working on was working on like the steam piping on his gauntlet. And that's where I've got a lot of work to do on there. And that's pretty much where I left off. And I did all that like on the bust, like the little steam piping and things like that. All right, finishing up the mask and things like that. So I'm going to come back to him later. I feel like just doing something a little bit new, a little bit different. Well, not a little bit different. I guess it would be a lot different, right? Let's see. So I am going to start with an 8.5 by 11. That way I can, if I want, I can put it onto a t-shirt. You know, I just do an iron on. Let's see. I had found a picture of Janet Jackson, and I found a pose that I thought was kind of cute that would work with her right here. So I'm going to combine the two of those type of things, and I'm going to kind of make her a little cartoony. So let's see. We'll go ahead and start. Disney has really nice basic shapes. Let me get back to that. She's supposed to be right here. There we go. So I'm going to be kind of planning out, let's see, I'm going to make her big here. We'll use a lighter tone for the outside here. I'm going to start with a circle. Nice generous circle. I'm going to cut the circle in the shape of where I think her face is going to be. Eyes are going to be like right here. Now I'm a big fan of the Little Mermaid's style, Ariel the Little Mermaid, and her style is where it's kind of like this with the eyes. It's like more innocent, but if you make them smaller, they're she looks less childlike. So let me go ahead and make that a little smaller. Oops, make that a little bigger so you can see it. I don't know why we can't see our line. There we go. Soft brush is fine. There we go. There we go. So with Ariel, usually I start off with 2 humps. And let's see, we'll add the circle. And it's kind of like a pizza shape. And then you got to remember that the eye is round, so I'm going to make like a round right here at the bottom instead of it going straight across. And then I'm just going to do like a little bit of an S shape right here. And then I'm going to do the eyelashes. And now we're going to take a little something from Janet to make it look more like Janet. So I'm going to cut into her eye here, just a little. And then I'm going to bring the eyelashes down a little bit further, or just make them a little longer. Same thing on this end. I'm making like this little curve and then throwing a little S shape. Okay, for Disney characters, they always have the eye socket is pretty huge. So like this is where the eyebrow would be. So I'm going to make her eyebrow shape. And instead of coming down, I'm going to come out a little bit. And just follow the curve of the eyebrow ridge here, and then I'll erase these guidelines here. Okay, and then she's got a bit of a lid here. I'm going to erase the top part of this right here, and then I'm going to add her lid like right here. I'm going to make it look a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to give her like little parts in her eyes, little dot. And then I'm going to put like the eye white on here. Disney doesn't always have eye whites, but that's just like one of my favorite things. It's supposed to make the eye look shiny, but it also kind of gives it a little life too, I think. Now that I'm going to emphasize the top lid, make it a little thicker than the bottom. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this around here and just kind of give it kind of the shape that Janet's got on her eye. Now because her eyes are, she's smiling, her eyes are elongated a bit. We can elongate her eye just a bit and maybe even bring up a little bit of the edge here just to follow the smile. We can even add more lashes if we want, but we want to keep it simple because you got to keep in mind that people would be animating it. Okay, so about 3 eyelashes, 3 or 4 eyelashes, or no eyelashes, and just keep a little tail on the end. And that's also like eyelashes. These could be a little thicker. So I'm trying to make these little dots in the center here. The iris is a little bigger. I like this one better than this one. Let's see. Let me bring it in a bit. Watch that. Okay. And just kind of make them a little bit more symmetrical. There we go. And this is just the rough, and then we'll go over it one more time. Okay. The nose. She's done work on her nose, so it's not quite normal to look at. It doesn't follow certain rules, I guess. I don't know, but it's got this kind of action going on, and I think it might be okay for a cartoon because it looks smaller, significantly smaller for her face. So we're going to go ahead and keep that. And I'm just following the shape of the nose, and it flares out a little bit on that side, so I'm just going to put a little nostril there, and the bottom of her nose comes down a little bit further than that nostril, and then the other nostril's up here, and I'm just going to draw like a little hint there. Let's see, I could draw like this, like a Bluth nose, and that would keep it together. Let's see, and right here is where that little tip is. Alright, and then maybe a little line to show where this whole thing here is. Okay, and then we got to give her that big smile. And because this is a cartoon, you can go as big as you want. You can even go even bigger than it normally would be. Like this is almost all the way to the end of her eye. And this is like it's like two triangles put together and rounded at the bottom of it. Okay, and then same thing with the lips. You can add your curves if you want. Now Disney cartoons have a lot of S shapes, so if I wanted to, I could reduce that a little bit. But she's a cartoon, so we can get away with having even bigger than before. The S shape plays into play. Curves in, goes out, and so you have like a gentle S here. Let's see, right here on her, and I'm going to make an S curve. So here's an S right here, and then there's going to be a slight S here. Alrighty, let's put some music back on. Alright, okay, so again with her face, I'm looking right here, and then I'm going to come out here, and I'm looking at her jaw, and I'm going to just go ahead and keep it simple. Here's another S shape. You can even bring it in a little bit and make another S. Okay, and she's got a squared chin. And then we can bring from the ball, and come around from the ball, or we could work it into the ball, but I'm going to come around from the ball, like the ear is going to be about right here. And we're just going to hint at some of the things in the ear. And then we have a slight S shape on the jaw. That jaw line right there. So here's where it molds out a little bit, but it'll come back in. It's like out, and then in, and then out again for these two to meet. And then she's got like kind of like a little bit of a cleft chin, so we'll throw that in there. Now we can go a couple different ways on this. For it to be like a caricature, we can make her chin smaller, and that would make it a little bit more narrow. We can make her chin larger, but Most Disney shapes don't have that. Not really. Okay, so we've got that going on. She's got a big smile. And we'll put the things that are characteristic of her on here. We can make her nose a little smaller because Disney loves small noses. And barely their noses. There we go. And we can even, I'm thinking about raising it up a bit, but nah, we'll leave it like that. And we'll make it a little bit, move it over a little bit more. There we go. Oops. Let me reset. Okay, so this is her nose normal, such as it is, and then we're just going to make it a little smaller. There we go. Now her lips are more closed in. This looks like she's got all the rows showing. I'm going to bring up the bottom here. Let me do this. We'll just get rid of some of the construction lines so we can see it a little bit better. Now she's got this sexy look about her, so what I think we could do, we could even get away with using Jasmine's eyes. Jasmine's got some pretty sexy eyes. But we'll leave it for now because she was, before she embraced her really sexy look when she was younger, she was very charismatic, young and fresh, and then she turned sexy and sassy. Okay, so since I've altered her mouth, I gotta alter her jaw just a bit. I'm gonna bring it in more. So here's the lines where that's gonna happen. Because, you know, when you open your mouth, your jaw goes down, so. Now her jaw looks a little bit squarish right here. There we go. And I can even go smaller on her nose. Okay, so looking at some of the proportions, I'm going to bring this in some more. This line. She's got this kind of like a hookish type of thing here going on. And I'm going to bring this a little more. And it's all about exaggeration, so we can go a little bit more exaggerated. We'll bring that out more. And I'm trying to get her likeness. So one of the things that is characteristic of Janet is that her lips are these triangle shapes, and I think we'll carry that through while we're working on her. Okay, we'll throw a little bit of an neck here. And we got to keep that chin, the Jackson chin. With a little bit of a cleft. We can even come in a little bit more so she doesn't look too much like a little kid. There we go. And we can bring this in a little bit more. And then you could just play with the features to make it look more like either more or more cartoony. And where it's dark right here, where her teeth would be. So we can get away with this. We can close her eyes up a little bit more. We'll just make it a little thicker. Sometimes she wears a little bit more eye makeup. And give her the nice forehead. Which will probably be covered up by the little hat that we're going to give her. Let's see. My hat go. Here we go. Alright. So she's in this direction. I'm going to make her a little smaller. And I got to decide what kind of hair I want to give her. I'll probably give her like the Victorian curls, like the little swirls and stuff like that. La 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 la. This beast right here. Bring it down. Give us plenty of room for the body, or at least the start of it. There we go. Now I'm going to put a hat on her. Okay. And then we want to keep the lines simple. But a little bit exaggerated. We'll have one shoulder kind of popped up a bit, and then the other one a little lower. We'll give her a similar outfit to what I saw. Throw that on there. We could make her top. I think I'll make her top hat a little no, we'll keep it the same. We'll keep it the same. I was going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to make it a little bit more exaggerated. And since she too is a songstress, I'm going to go ahead and add some musical notes on her. A Victorian songstress. Goggles to see it better. And then we might have her holding a I'm trying to think, something that has to do with music. Maybe a baton or a microphone. But we'll make it more Victorianish. We'll make her a little sexier. And have her wearing a corset. And the buckles we'll have the buckles be musical notes. And Disney has some ridiculous waists. Okay, she'll have long gloves on. Let's see if we can fix this hand. Alright, looks like a bunch of lines here. I'll see if I can clean that up a bit. There's her thumb right there. And we'll erase some of these other lines. All right. And I guess she'll be a good character. Let's see. Make this a little smaller so I can erase. All right. Now, one of the things she used to wear was like a militant-looking outfit. What I'd like to do is maybe make her into a conductor, maybe like a music conductor, instead of it looking too militant. I think it's more of like the Rhythm Nation outfit. But I'm going to combine a little bit of the sexiness here, the corset and whatnot with that as well. So she'll have, I think they're called epaulets. Let's see. I'm just going to clean up some of these lines here. Make it easy for you guys to see what I'm doing. Make it easier for me to see what I'm doing. There we go. Usually I just go back and redraw. Okay, so there we are right there. Okay, so let's see if we can find Rhythm Nation. I wish I could play the music that these people sing and have them. Is it rhythm? There we go. All right, her Rhythm Nation costume had, whoops, it was very squared off. So we'll have some off the shoulder stuff here. At first I was going to have it like, yeah, I can do it right here. We'll exaggerate the cuffs that are off the shoulders. We'll still have her shoulder showing. We'll have it coming in. And she had a ponytail. So we'll make this into like a curly ponytail. And one of the ways I would do it when I'm doing curls, I usually do like little noodles looking things. Let me come on in there. This is going to be a thick ponytail, and then we'll have some of her ponytail coming down this way. I started off with like noodle shapes here, and then we'll just have a little bit of her ponytail's pretty tight, but I'm going to, just to show that it's there, I'm going to have a little bit off to the side showing. There we go. And then let's see, how long was it? almost down her back. Almost, but not quite. Okay. And then I would come and do these little shapes here. And then I join it. So like this, bring it down. So it looks like a cylinder. You want it to wrap around the cylinder, but not really fill in the cylinder. And then you throw the hair in there. There we go. It's kind of like drawing a banner. A little fancy banner. This will be darker, and everything in the front, where it curls in the front, will be lighter. So you can get away with doing this sort of thing, kind of like a pixie stick. And then have the inner curl meet and be darker. It gives it, let's see, I lost myself. Okay, here we go. Let me zoom in. There we go. This is the front. This is the back, because it's darker. This is the front. And then back will be here. Here's the front again. And just kind of following the shape of what I've got, and then I erase the other portions. Whoops, I didn't want to erase that one. So it has to swirl around. There we go. Cleaning up some more of these lines. And then I'm going to keep going. There we go. And then just go ahead and do this sort of thing. And then we'll just make the constructions on here. It's almost like doing a Zentangle. And then we want to erase right here. Make this darker. Okay, and then we'll just bring this around. And then we'll just do this. And you want your curl to follow the shape of the hair. That way each one of the curls leads into the next. Then we'll erase anybody who doesn't belong. And you could also make them messier by, you know, maybe having a few strands, loose strands here and there. But for her, we'll keep her kind of straight. There we go. She also had a ball cap instead of the top hat. So we'll change her top hat a bit. And I could always add more to her ponytail, like right here, stuff like that. Let me do that real quick. And just at an angle. Make that darker. We'll throw another one here. Okay, let's see. There we go. And you can do different sizes and whatnot like that. We're going to give her little baby hairs right here. That way we can keep that. Alright, so let's change her hat. Make her like more of a page boy or newsboy hat. Okay. Let's see. So instead of having the long brim, it'll be a shorter brim. I'm sorry, a partial brim. Come on, you. Work with me. Here we go. We'll do this sort of thing. So the brim is like only in the front, and she's gripping it. Give her a big front here. I'll have to move the goggles. Okay. It's 6:02. Gotta hurry. At least we can get partially done. Alrighty. And the hat, let's see, we'll give it like a slouch. And we'll move the goggles over this way. Oops, don't want that. We'll just keep it like this. Nope, we don't need that. Alright. And then she had a high collar in Rhythm Nation, so I'm just going to have a detached collar here. which was very serious in Rhythm Nation. There was no smiling. Okay, and then I'm gonna have in the front here, we'll have like a little jacket that, let's see, we'll have the jacket come right here. Let's see, and it too is going to have that right here. I could make her wear more manly clothes, but where's the fun in that? I want to embrace her sexy side as well as her other side. Like, she can be serious at times, but I'm going to keep that little skirt that she had here. It kind of flosses out because of a belt, the jacket at least. And she wore trousers. I don't know if we're gonna go that low. Okay, so she also, all her movements were very angular. Let's see. I'm trying to see what the symbol is that she has on her chest. It's hard to see. There it is. Okay. So she had buckles. Let's see if we can emulate some of that. We'll keep the jacket here. She wore gloves, so we'll have these gloves here. So maybe she'll be a pilot. Let's see. Zipper. Oh, the jackets are a little different. Oh well. We'll do what we gotta do. Okay, she always had a belt though. She's not wearing a belt there, but she's wearing a belt there. Okay. Let's see. So leave it like right there. Put her hand on her hip. Let's see, her hip will be about like right here. So I need to bring this down. We'll have the gloves and the jacket go into the gloves. This is her hand. Whoa. Oh, I held it down too long. I'm like, why is it moving? And it's going into the skirt a bit. A little tiny. At this angle you won't see her thumb because that's like behind. Oops. this down a bit. So we'll have her gloves be about right here. And then her jacket will kind of blouse around it. Alright. And maybe we'll give her some lace-up trousers or something. Still want to keep kind of like a little bit of ruffles. See her elbows like right there, and it's just like extra from the jacket. All right, I'm going to add more details and then we'll color it on screen tomorrow. So this is Afro Steampunk Janet. So we'll need to throw some Afro into it. So let's see. We are going to add those. I'll add those African details, probably to this right here, and maybe some of the items here. Maybe throw a mask or something like that in there, or some African-centric, Afrocentric patterns. Why is it cleavage? Because she loves her cleavage. There's very few pictures of her where she's not showing off her assets, her little money makers. She's pretty proud of her body, which is really cool. That's one of the things I liked about her. She was unapologetically sexy and gutsy. You know, she was one of the few Jacksons that struck out on her own and became as big as and almost as big as Michael. Pretty gosh darn big. At least when I was young. Okay. Alright. Let's see. My alarm is going to go off really soon. So if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And we will have more in here. Let's see. We'll use, I could use just solid colors, but where's the fun in that? Let's see. Disney also has different ways that they like to color their folks, but we'll give her a little brown tone here as a base. We'll see about this tone, but a little bit warmer. The lights are hitting her really hard, so she looks a lot lighter than she actually is, I think. Let's see. Okay, these are all gloves, gloves, gloves. Okay, so the only exposed skin is like here in her face. In her chest here. And I'm just going to do a light coloring here. Whoops. Little darker. Let's see, maybe let's see, that's not brown enough. Okay, so maybe she is like that brown. Nope. Nope. Let's see. We'll make it a little lighter. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll use a darker brown for her shadows, but it's got to be a little warmer. Oops, too big. I gotta go look at my Disney characters, see how they're colored. Throw some highlights in the front here. And then just to keep her features, we'll just throw a little bit more. Oops. I'm just using the same coloring as this in the picture here. I'll probably close her eyes up a little bit more, give her more eyelashes tomorrow. Just lighten her up a bit. Alright. Whoops. And then we'll just kind of smudge it together. Give it a little bit more shadow, make her jaw pop out a little bit more. Add a little bit more depth to the cleavage. A little bit more here. All right. Oh, time to go. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you on the morrow when we color up the rest. You guys, thank you so much for popping in. And I will see you on the morrow. And I will also do more work on Jussie Smolett with some more Afro-centric items. We'll work more on him as well. Or I will while I'm on the bus. And then we'll work together with Janet here. All right. You guys have a great one, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey, Tatted Hearts. I said balls. Hey, Ian. Hold a tuning fork. Listen to y'all. You guys aren't... Okay, so I'll see you on the morrow. Bye-bye. Hey, Julie. Take care, you guys.